Hi friends, welcome back to Farm Growth Diaries. My name is Caitlin, and today is going to be a fun, hopefully a fun day. It is gross, rainy, and cold outside. I just got off of work, and we have decided that today we are going to go work on those chairs I showed you in a last video. I'm going to start painting them, and so I'm really excited to start painting them. However, I need to make dinner first. So my dinner plan, let me just mix this up real quick. My dinner plan has to involve this broccoli. It's the first broccoli of the year. It's only about May. I think I picked that on May 18th. I think it's like May 20th now or something like that. So the broccoli is starting to, flowers are starting to open up. So you want to use that up. So today we're going to make out the Pampered Chef broccoli and chicken roll or broccoli and chicken ring. I love this. I think it's fantastic. I was going to buy crescent rolls for this project because you need crescent rolls. And I had a comment on my last YouTube video telling me, well, you can make your own crescent rolls. And I make almost all of my own bread. The only things I don't make, or the only things I don't make are crescent rolls and like hamburger buns and hot dog buns. I just made my first batch of hamburger buns. They weren't great, but they're still good. So I think I can cross hamburger buns off my list, but I still buy crescent rolls and hot dog rolls. So I feel like I got the challenge to go make some crescent rolls. So I've never made crescent rolls from scratch. And typically I do everything sourdough. So it's 5 o'clock on a weeknight. So I don't really have time to do sourdough. So I am using Melissa Norris's recipe, and I am going to make my own croissants, or no, my own crescent rolls for the crescent rings. So what you do is you have crescents, you roll them out, and then you add chicken and broccoli and peppers and cheese and a dill mix that they have. It's so good. So that's dinner tonight. It's already 5 o'clock, and we're making a dough that needs to rest. So it's gonna be fun. With this rain, I'm so sleepy. I ran home and grabbed a soda right away. I'm like, I need some caffeine in my life. Okay, so what I have in the mixer here, let me bring you down and show you. So what I have in the mixer is half a cup of warm milk, half a cup of melted butter, 1 egg, and half a cup of honey. So I'm going to mix this up real quick, and then I'm going to add my yeast mixture. I have a packet of yeast, so 2.5 teaspoons of yeast with half a cup of warm water. And I've been having that bloom for 5 minutes. So I'm going to mix that together, get my egg all mixed up. And then I still got an egg. Let's get that egg mixed up. And then I'm going to add anywhere from 3.5 to 4 cups of water, or of flour. So we're going to start with 3.5, and then if our dough is too wet, we'll add a little bit more. Now we're going to mix this up until the dough doesn't stick to the bowl. You're supposed to use a paddle attachment and then switch the dough hook for the knead-in, but I didn't want to make the dish dirty. So we're just doing the paddle attachment, or sorry, the dough hook from the beginning. And then we're going to get it all into a nice ball, see if we need to add any more flour. And then we're going to knead it for 7 minutes. Okay, so it's not sticking to the bowl anymore. It's all in one ball. So I'm going to turn it down to low, and I'm going to nut this bowl for 7 minutes while it kneads. And all we're doing with that kneading is we're developing that gluten. Want to let it go for 7 minutes? Okay, it's in 7 minutes. This is 100% by far the fastest I've ever whipped up a dough. I'm already hungry, and I have at least 2 hours before I have dinner. So I will say, because I'm not making crescent rolls and I'm turning this into like a baked product if I get hungry and we need to make this into the final product before it's fully risen, we might do that. And we're not going to judge. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to go let this sit for about an hour or until it has doubled in size. I have my heat mat out and I'm going to put it on the heat mat and hope that helps it. So this is what it looks like right now. Let's cover it, put it on the heat mat, and then we are going to go outside and work on our chairs while this doubles. Out in my garage, let me tip you down. My garage is a mess. We need to organize it because this garage ends up becoming where I do a lot of my summer cooking and my summer preserving. So I need to get it organized. Ow, I'm gonna hurt my foot. I need to get it organized and get my outdoor kitchen space set up. So I might need to get more painter's tape. I might not have gotten enough painter's tape, but what we're gonna do is we're painting this chair. So if you missed my last video, my mom traded me a chair that I had for these two. Let's see. For these two really pretty, what I think are really pretty, retro chairs. And I'm repainting them. We painted these, Mom and I, a couple years ago, and they are in desperate need of being repainted. So I have found, or I have decided that I'm going to do them like retro colors. So I'm doing an orange, a red, and a white, or like a cream. And I'm going to try to spray paint them. This might be a terrible idea, or it might work beautifully. I have no idea. So I'm going to try to tape everything off so that I can just easily spray paint. And life is easy. So I'm really excited to have these in the garden again, or to have these in the garden, period. They came with, Mom gave me a metal table that goes with them. And I think that is going to be so fun to like go out in the garden and have like not only a place to sit, but then another place like just like put your drink down, put a flower pot on. God only knows. The options are endless. So what I'm going to try to get done today is what is going to be the orange. So the main part of this, what is currently mostly blue, is going to be the orange. Or no, it's going to be the red. Sorry, it's going to be the red. And then that's my hope. And so I'm taking these chairs one at a time. I want to do the first one to make sure that I like the colors that I did before I do the second one. I don't want to do the whole thing and be like, I think it's terrible. And I'm not a DIYer, so we'll see how this goes. Okay, so here are my three colors. Let me show you my three colors. This is a heritage red, shell white, and rustic orange. So I think this is going to look really nice. I'm really excited. I have the garage closed because it's so windy and cold outside, but we might need to open it once we get going. So this part's red, this is white, this is orange, this is white. I think this is going to be orange, and I think I'm going to make this part red. So I'm going to just tape off this little square. that's good. Now I'm going to move down. I'm going to tape the bottom of the chair. And then we're just going to start painting. Okay. I guess we just go for it, huh? So this has adjustable nozzles, which is nice. Well, okay, I was like, I wonder which one is which. Oh, it tells you. One is high, standard, low, vertical, or horizontal. Okay, let's go to 3, or 3, which is low output, and see how we do. I'm really nervous. Okay, I really like it. Like, I already really like it. I think it's already brightened it up so much. I really like. I didn't know what I was gonna do with the handles. I wasn't going to paint them, at least not right now. Like, I was gonna paint them because they're blue, but I didn't know what color, and I wasn't gonna paint the metal because I didn't know what color. Why? Because I didn't think you could really paint metal. But I think painting them really, really makes this look really nice. So I'm doing everything I can. I can see like down here, I still have some blue underneath. Once I kind of get everything done, I'll have to like flip them over outside and do some finishing touches outside. But so far, I'm really liking how this is turning out. I think this is gonna look really nice. So let me do the. I realized though, cardboard back spray is necessary. Doing the white is gonna have to 100% be the last one we do, and I'm really hoping that this paint comes off nicely. I forget if you're supposed to take the paint off when it's wet or when it's dry. We'll cross that bridge in a few minutes. But let's do the boxes. I think that's gonna look so cool. I don't think this one was down the whole way. That one might run. I hope that one doesn't run. But they might have all run for all I know. I don't honestly know why I picked these colors because I'm not into like 70s kind of stuff. But I think I picked them because I like natural colored things, and it's gonna live in the garden, so it can't have. I know like the blue is the color of the sky, but I feel like I need to be like nature colors. And for some reason, like fall just screamed out at me, and then these colors, and they match the chairs, these colors that I picked, and they match fall in the garden. So I hope I like it. Do you think we wait for the paint to dry, or do we take it off while it's wet? For some reason, I think we take it off while it's wet. I got a little run here. Got up a smidge. And then I can see. Okay. Okay, I think we take it off while it's wet. Let's try that and see. Okay, let's do this one first. Well, that is crisp. Look at me go. I hope the rest of it. Oh, look at that one. Look at that one run in. Oh my goodness. Let me wipe that off. Oh. Okay. At least when gravity helped us, it was perfect. We definitely got some overspray here, so we'll have to be careful, really careful when we do the white. I did open the garage while I did this. I just put it back down because it's windy and I just had a piece of grass blow in. Get off of my chair. But yeah, the first spray of spray paint, I was like, oh, we can't do this in a closed room with limited airflow. Ugh. Okay. Would you look at that? It's nice and crisp. I'm obsessed. When you're good, you're good. Okay, let's do now when we have gravity not our friend. You'll leave that one on for a minute because that's still pretty wet. Okay, that one, we're just gonna leave that on because that one is trying to run. Well, I guess, should I take it off and try to staunch the run in? Okay, let's take it off. Oh, that's not terrible. Not great. But not, oops, I touched it. I touched the paint. Okay. I don't think that's terrible. I am pretty stinking pleased. Do this one. Okay. Okay, so really I have some run in here. Let's see if we can't grab that. And a little bit, you can see here, definitely a little bit. But nothing major. Nothing major. I think I want to top this. I hope I don't just mess this up. Okay. Okay. Well, friends, I actually really like that. I think this is going to, I want to keep going, but I know I can apply more tape until this paint is dry. So I think, I thought this was going to be like a 2-day project. Do one chair one day, one chair the next day. I don't know why I thought that because that's a dumb idea. Because I hate tape and I don't want to, as I kind of do want to just start taping that one and start painting that one red. But I don't know for certain that I'm going to love this idea. So I want to do one fully, make sure I like it, and then I'll do the second one. But I'm going to say, let me bring you down so you can show you again. I'm going to say I really like how, get off my shoe. Paint tape on my shoe. I really like how this one is already looking. The paint makes it look so much brighter. It makes it look, even already, again, I still have a lot of ugliness here that I need to cover up, but I think even just that paint, it makes it feel like it's a newer piece of furniture and not something that's, I don't even know, 60 years old maybe. So I'm thrilled. I'm really so far very excited. I do need to paint the rails. I can see like right here I have some paint, some blue paint that's not quite coming through. So we'll definitely have to do some touch-up paint when we get done on the bottom, on the rails when I can flip it over and have easier access to it. And I also don't really, it's my garage floor. I could honestly care less, but I don't want to go out of my way to spray paint on my garage floor. So we'll just do like those final touch-ups on the bottoms when we can get it outside in the sun and flip it over. But for a first start, I think this looks great. And now again, if I would have known, I would have made this like its own separate video. So this project is gonna be like split up into multiple videos. Oh my god, I have a whole bunch of like grass that blew in. Oh my gosh, I have a whole bunch of grass that blew in. Not grass, like dust. So that is a downfall to having the door open. I have a whole bunch of dust. So I might need to repaint that section to get rid of, to hide some of that dust. Here, let me maybe do it now. See if I can do it. See if I can do it. Okay. Okay, perfect. Okay. Great. Let's go wash our hands. It's only been about 25 minutes since we left the dough. So go wash our hands. I'll feed all the animals and then we'll move on to our dough. But I really thought this was going to take longer. But that's okay. I think it looks fantastic. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled with this first step already. Okay, now we're waiting for my bread or my dough to continue rising. It's only been about 30 minutes. I said I wasn't doing this, but I'm doing it. So I'm really weird. I have things that I put together, like weird foods I put together. And one of my weird foods is, two of my favorite foods for a long time have been this chicken broccoli ring and bang bang pasta. And I would make both. I would make a chicken broccoli ring with a side of bang bang pasta. And that was my meal. And so now it's really hard for me to think of like one without the other. And so I'm like, I'm making the chicken broccoli ring, you're not making bang bang pasta. I have half an hour to kill. So we're gonna make bang bang pasta. And it's so easy. How do you not? Now typically I do add shrimp to this. I'm not doing that, at least not today. I might make them and add them later. But at least today I'm not doing them. But this is super simple. So the recipe actually calls for you to use bottled chili sauce. Don't do that. That's terrible. Make it yourself. So I'm actually doubling this batch, but just a single batch is a 1/4 cup rice wine vinegar, a 1/4 cup water, and 3/4 of a cup of sugar. I'm doubling just because I liked, when I make this, I make a lot, and I make some for my mom and I. This is a 1/4 cup, so I need to do this 6 times. I'm actually going to go, I think I like to go a hair soft on the sugar. I think it does get really sweet. But then you can add heat to your preference. So some sriracha and some crushed red pepper flakes. And so what's nice about making this your own heat level is you can make it as spicy or as not spicy as you like. We do mix this with mayonnaise, and then that's what we coat the pasta with. It sounds weird. It's fantastic. Don't judge until you try it. It's, oh, like look, here's my very well-worn recipe. At the top, I wrote delicious. Would I lie? Would I write delicious if it wasn't delicious? I would not. So let's go over to the stove. That's all that this chili, your own chili sauce, calls for. I do make my own canned chili sauce. I have tried, and I will use that canned chili sauce in a pinch. But when I want to make like the real thing, this is what we do. So now you just kind of want to let this cook. I'm going to dissolve that sugar, let all those flavors infuse, and then add a little bit of cornstarch slurry to help thicken this up. So I'm just going to let that go, and we'll be back in a little bit. I'm not going to put the pasta on yet. I'm going to make this. I have to make my own mayonnaise to go with it. So I'll do that stuff, and then I'm just going to do, I like to do angel hair. Angel hair cooks in like 3 minutes, 2 minutes. So I'm going to wait until the ring is in the oven, and then I will make the pasta. So we can have this sit in, and it'll be fine. It's been, well, I guess we're 15 minutes shy. I want to go get some chicken. So I already have this chicken cooked. I made Ina Garten's, and I shouldn't be calling it Ina Garten's recipe anymore. The only thing I do with her roast chicken is I do cook it on bread. And then I turn that bread into croutons and I make a salad. And so from there on, I've made it like my own. But it is one of my favorite things in the world. And I made this for a meal on Friday. And it was fantastic. So I have a little bit left to do one more salad. But I'm going to use some of this chicken for this meal, which is going to be, for this ring, which is going to be fantastic. See, here's my little chicken flavored sourdough bread. Wonderful. Okay. Okay. Let's get that in a bowl. My broccoli soaking in a vinegar bath. I don't spray my broccoli with anything, but I just like to make sure that there's no worms in it. So I just put it into a little vinegar bath, and now I'm going to chop it up and add it to my chicken. And then I still like to glance it over. I had worms come out of a broccoli I bought from the store a couple years ago, or maybe a year ago. It was traumatizing. There was multiple worms on this one little broccoli. Now, it shows, right, that the broccoli wasn't sprayed, so that's good, but I don't want to eat it. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to take the rest of these broccoli stems. I'll give them to the bunny for her dinner. That works great. So, oh, I forgot. We also have to add pepper. So typically I like to add red peppers. My chili sauce is done, so I'm just going to turn that off for a minute. Our chili sauce is already done. It hasn't even been on the show for 5 minutes, and it's already bubbling. I didn't add the cornstarch yet, but I might do that then. Oh, look. I have an onion in my pepper bag. Let's go ahead and add an onion. I need to look up the recipe for this, because I actually forget what the recipe is. But you're supposed to use red onion, and I have probably red onion in the freezer, but I have a ton of my favorite orange yummies. And I'm like, let's just go ahead and use them. So I'm going to chop these guys up and toss them into this bowl. And then once we get this done, it's 6 o'clock now, almost 6. So we've gotten a lot done in an hour. This is pretty impressive, I'm going to say. It's yucky and gross. My house is cold because I turned the heat off because it's been like 85 degrees. I'm not turning the heat back on for the couple days that it's going to be in the 50s. So this is 100% going to be a go put on your PJs and cuddle up on the couch and try and stay warm. So I just eyeball everything. This is, if we need more of anything, I have more of everything we can easily do. Okay, I think that's probably pretty good. Now we're gonna make mayonnaise because we need some mayonnaise both for the ring and for our banging pasta. If you are still buying mayonnaise, this is your sign to stop. I will say, making your own mayonnaise at times like this when I'm like, oops, at times like this when I'm like, oh my gosh, I just want to get this in the oven and be done. It can be annoying for sure, but mayonnaise is so expensive for what it is. We all have the ingredients in our house for how to make mayonnaise, and it's so much healthier this way. So I'm a huge proponent of making your own mayonnaise. Now, I will say, I have a dish I always use to make my mayonnaise in, And it is actually holding a dressing that I made earlier this week, actually for the chicken. It is holding that in the fridge, and I'm like, I don't know what to do if I can't use that jar. So we're going to try it in a bowl and see how it goes. And we're actually also going to use our own Dijon mustard. So I tried to make my own mustard. That is potent. Should use a little bit. I tried to make my own mustard once and was not successful. My mustard seeds never like got soft, so it's kind of like a spicy mustard, and it's like a grainy spicy mustard. But I'm almost out of Dijon. I think I actually might have some. I never run out of anything, so I probably have some in like my stores. But I was like, we made this Dijon mustard. Let's use it. It tastes good. It's like a honey pineapple Dijon mustard. So it tastes good. So we're gonna try to use it. So mayonnaise is simply 1 egg. Some people like to do 1 egg and a yolk. You know, play with it. It's egg, mustard, and vinegar. A little bit of salt. And then avocado oil. And that's, again, one of the reasons why you want to make it yourself. Seed oils, you just want, if you're still using any seed oils, vegetable oil, canola oil, sunflower oil, grapeseed oil, you want to get away from that. Go to olive oil and avocado oil. And the avocado mayo you buy at the store is so expensive. So you just kind of blend your egg, your vinegar, your mustard together, your salt, and then you slowly drizzle in avocado oil. This is a weird container, I don't like it. And I like to use an immersion blender until it's all nice and blended. And then you can hear that change. Did you hear that? You can hear that change as it starts to thicken. Look at that. Easy peasy. That's good. Okay. Now, I'm going to finish our chicken mixture. I'm going to add some mayonnaise. So I'm just going to take, the recipe calls about half a cup of mayo. So I'm going to start there because I do need some for my dressing for the pasta. Then we're going to shred some cheddar cheese into it. This is another way you can save money too. By buying cheese in bulk and shredding it yourself. You get rid of the preservative that's on shredded cheese. And you can buy cheese in bulk, and cheese freezes really well. So I kind of forgot what I was doing, so we just shredded. But that's okay. And then to our mixture, I need to fill up my salt jar. Salt nicely. Pepper. Oops. Garlic powder. Just a little bit. And then the secret ingredient is Kimber Chef's all-purpose dill mix. It honestly makes this taste so good. I have actually a whole bunch of dill out in the garden. I might need to see how I make my own version of this dill mix. That might be a good video to make. Make our own version. And this would be our mayo, our broccoli, our peppers. I think that's where this ends. Our dough, I guess. Okay. So I think that's about it. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna clean up all this area. We'll bring our dough out. It's actually been exactly an hour and 1 minute since I put that dough over there to rest. So let's go ahead and bring everything over and get this puppy filled. I decided, since I'm having to like I'm making this from scratch. I'm not going to worry about making the individual crescent rolls and making the ring. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make like a braid to save a little bit of time. So if you were making the crescent rolls, you would roll it out into a circle and then start cutting it into 16 individual crescent rolls. I am just going to kind of make like a rectangle, use my hand to kind of guide it and make like a rectangle and make a braid. And what's fun about this is you could add all kinds of flavorings to this dough. That one's thin right there. You could add all kinds of flavorings to this dough to really make this your own. I have a nice little thin patch right there. But what you can do to see if your dough is ready is do the window pane test. I got it really thin, like right in the middle. Let me kind of fold it back in on itself. And the window pane test is when you hold it up and you go like that, and you can kind of like start to see through it. Okay, let me do this again. Hold on. I made it really thin in the middle. And I did it inadvertently, which I didn't plan to do. Let me get it rolling pin. Is I did the window pane test. It got really thin in the middle. I could see the counter, and I'm like, oh, that can't be good. Okay, so let me use this to help just make it more even. It stretches out and rolls out really nice, but it was getting thin in the middle. So I'm just going to make a nice big rectangle. Check thickness. Kind of want it to be the same thickness the whole way. Okay, now for the braid, you want to identify the middle of your dough, and then we're going to cut our strips over here. So I'm going to like just lightly score it so I know where my middle of the dough is. And this is what I'm going to fill. And then I'm going to cut the whole way through, move that, cut the whole way through over here. I'm really excited. I think this is going to be really nice. Okay, now we're going to take our filling and just put it right down the middle. Your clean hands are a cook's best friends. Perfect. Look at that. And then you start braiding. So I'm just gonna like lay this one and then this one and then this one. One side is definitely has thicker braids than the other. wash. And when I do an egg wash, I don't like to waste things. That's part of my problem with cooking. I don't like to waste things. So if I make icing for a cake and I have too much icing, I will put it all on the cake. So with an egg wash, I like to just use the whole thing. And this will make it nice and golden. Look at that. And then I'll have Sawyer finish this egg up with her dinner. Okay, I'm gonna do one more thing. Okay, the last thing I want to do is just for funsies. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of pretzel sea salt on top. You could add everything bagel seasoning, you could add some more of that dill, but I thought just a little bit of that pretzel salt would be delicious. Now look at that, it's not just the most prettiest dinner. So I'm gonna go put this in the oven. I have the oven set for 375. I'm gonna put it in for about 30 minutes and then we'll check and see what it looks like. It's gonna be fantastic. It is 6:25 and we have gotten a lot accomplished already. I started this project around 5. An hour and a half later, it's in the oven. We should be eating around 6. We got one chair started to get painted, that's great. And now we are going to try our chili sauce. So, I didn't add my corn starch to make it thick because it's honestly a little thick already. I think it's probably fine. Let me taste it. You just want to taste it for your heat level, knowing that when you add the mayonnaise, it's going to thin it out. So let's just go ahead right now, actually, and we'll add the mayonnaise right in. So what I put that over here. Yeah. Midge. So you can add shrimp and chicken into this. You can use this sauce for so many things. It could not be easier, but let's taste it. Perfect amount of sweetness and spiciness. Love it. I'm gonna clean up my kitchen, put the last of a little bit of, I like to clean as I go because I have such a small kitchen. So we're gonna wash the few remaining dishes that I have, and then that was spicy. So good though. And then we'll be back in about half an hour. I'll just cook up some quick pasta. I gotta feed all my animals. That was spicy. But we'll be back in half an hour when we pull that puppy out of the oven. We toss our pasta with our sauce. And then it's finally dinner time. And I am very excited for this meal. My pasta is done. And it is gorgeous. So it's just pasta and sauce, but it's so freaking good. Like I said, you can add meat in here. I'm just doing it just like this, and it is fantastic. Let's take a bite. It's really hot. You want to have a little bit more sauce than you think you need, just because pasta always soaks up sauce, especially as it gets cold. It's hot, but it's so good. Now you can adjust the sweetness, the spiciness to really make that your own, but so good. Okay, now my braid is almost done. I had to put it in for an extra 10 minutes, but my timer is about to go off. Let me hold this up and just show you it is. So stunning. So it was in for 40 minutes at 375. So good. So it's gonna be way too hot to eat right now, but we're gonna cut into it so it can start cooling anyway. It is 7:05. We started this project 2 hours ago. So we have crescent rolls from ingredients to finished product within 2 hours. So I think that was fantastic. And I don't think I needed to really let it rest, especially because I wasn't really trying to get this to rise. It definitely did. But I could have probably rushed that a little bit more if I wanted to, but oh, how good is this? Let me turn it around so we can see it. Look at that. Does that look delicious? My dough looks all the way cooked. And it's nice and flaky. That is going to be fantastic. I just want to try the crescent roll part really quick, just to tell you how the crescent roll turned out. It definitely is a much better quality than the store-bought stuff. Much better taste too. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, that's so good. So, one of my annoyances with crescent rolls, eat, Caitlin, chew, then chop. One of my annoyances with crescent rolls, store-bought crescent rolls, is I think they're really sweet. And sometimes I'm like, I could do with a little bit less sweetness. So this has no sweetness at all. And so I think next time I might add a little bit more honey. I bought about half a cup. I think next time I might add a cup because I do want to taste the honey to have a little bit of sweetness, but I want to have a nice balance. But when I tell you, that was fantastic. I probably won't make or won't buy crescent rolls again because that was fantastic. So, so good. So I am going to go sit down. It's 7:05. I'm going to sit down and have my dinner. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Stay tuned until the next video when maybe we finish the metal chairs. But this was a great way to use up some homegrown food and some made from scratch food. Very quick, very easy. And I am excited. Thank you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.